Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Frequently Asked Questions about Japan. This is Frequently Asked Questions number 7. And let's go ahead into our first question, a very important one. What is rent like in Japan, and how much would it cost to rent a place in Japan? Well, number one, your most likely accommodation in Japan is going to be an apartment. There are houses, there are condos, there are flats here, but your number one housing situation is usually going to be an apartment. If you are placed with an Ikaiwa that has housing, they are most likely going to place you in an apartment. Your price for rent per month is going to vary as to where you live in Japan. Obviously, Tokyo being the most expensive place to live. A very small place, only about 20 feet by 20 feet, which is probably like a large closet in America, can run you as much as 700 American dollars a month or more in Tokyo. And that's if you're close to a train station. It can even go higher. Sometimes as much as $800, $850 for a very small one-room place. Not one bedroom, one room. That means you've got your kitchen, you've got your bed, you've got your couch, you've got your TV, everything in one room, and it's very small. If you get outside of the large city area, obviously into the countryside, things become a lot cheaper. You can rent a reasonably sized place, somewhere to like a one-bedroom to two-bedroom place for as cheap as $400 to $500. That can usually be pretty reasonable, but usually, like I said, only in countryside places. As soon as you get into the heart of the city, prices start to fly really high really quick. And like I said, there's some small places too. You can do different types of situations with roommates when you get here through your Ikaiwa, if you're working for an Ikaiwa. You can do other things such as look for ads and size local rags, local magazines that are made out for gaijin. There are situations like that. There are some great websites to look for roommates or housing, such as gaijinpot.com. Those are some great ones that I would suggest. Personally, when I got here, I wanted to be in the heart of the city of Osaka, where I live, and I paid quite a bit to live there. My first place was about $630 a month for a place not much bigger than, I'd say, 15 by 20 feet. It was very small. After that, I moved into another situation with a roommate. It was kind of difficult to survive there after the roommate had lost his job due to the Nova bust. So I then moved back into a place by myself again, and that one was $700 and was about 20 feet by 20 feet. So, as I said, prices do run really high. Expect high prices for rent, and also expect that you have to put down a lot of money to move in, because there's what's called not just a deposit in Japan, but key money. And this money is a gift to the landlord that you give upon entry into the apartment complex or housing situation. And this can run anywhere between double the rent to triple the rent just to enter in, and you do not get that money back, so it's a little bit rough. Our next question was a great question about what is TV like in Japan? Are there great shows? What do people watch? What is the most common Japanese TV show that people watch? And are there variety shows? Those are some good questions about TV. One thing I'm going to have to let you know right now is before I came to Japan, I really expected Japan to have some spectacular shows. And to be quite honest with you, it was really disappointing with how bad the TV is here. I know that sucks and it's probably not what you want to hear, but TV here is not very good as far as Japanese produced shows. They have very low budgets. They use just digital cameras to film shows. There are variety shows. There are dramas, there are comedies, but realize they are nothing like Western versions of these. A lot of Japanese people tend to be very interested in Western Western shows, Western TV shows, Western sitcoms as far as what they enjoy the most. If you ask a lot of Japanese people what their favorite show on TV was, they'd probably say things like Lost, Prison Break, Heroes. So probably know what you want to hear. You probably want to hear about some amazing game shows they have or amazing TV shows. They do have great anime. You know, obviously, if you're into the anime, you can watch cartoons every day that are really great, really well written, and obviously perfectly drawn. But as far as shows go with acting, I don't want to sound mean, but the acting here is kind of subpar. And the budget that they have for shows is below subpar. They don't get a lot to spend on production quality. So shows are not so great here in Japan. You've got pretty much dramas, Korean dramas, which are on TV a lot here, and variety shows that usually have J-pop bands on there that are being interviewed, or they always show how to cook something interesting, or maybe some kind of special thing that you can do to clean up your house. A lot of them are oriented towards housewives who watch TV all day, so not really the most interesting stuff on the tube all the time. Is it easy to get a cell phone once I come to Japan? Well, it all depends. If you're just visiting as a tourist, you're probably not going to have the best situation with getting a phone. You can rent one or hire one out with no problem, or get a pay-as-you-go phone. Usually not the best quality phone. But if you do come here and acquire a visa that lets you stay in the country for a year or more, you will find that it's just as easy as in any Western country to get a phone here. They've got great deals. Probably, I'd say the amount I pay for my cell phone here is 1/3 of the amount that I paid in America. My cell phone bill is very cheap. Now, that's not saying everybody's bill is going to be cheap. Some pay quite a bit, but they have many, many features that you can add to phones here. Phones are very advanced here. You can get everything from your most basic phone, which will have everything you could possibly want, on up to the latest, greatest thing that has been invented. Japan's always on the cutting edge as far as phones go. But as long as you have a visa, show up to your local ward office, acquire your gaijin card, which is the first thing you will do when you get here. It usually takes about 3 weeks. After you have received your gaijin card, you can go to your nearest cell phone place, show them your gaijin card, and they will begin the process with setting you up with an account for a phone. You'll also need a bank account, of course, and it will have to be a Japanese-based bank account. You can't use foreign accounts. So be ready to get that too, but really that should be no problem after you get your gaijin card. After that, they will have the process, just like you're used to somewhat in Western countries, letting you know about the deal, what you should expect, how long your plan lasts. Most plans are about 2 years here. You can go for shorter ones, you can go for longer ones. My personal experience is 2-year plans are the best, and you probably want to stick with that because most people tend to only stay here a year before they head back out. There's a couple different places. You have Docomo, AU, and SoftBank. There's a few other smaller ones, but you'll find those out when you get here. Not a big problem to choose. All have their best parts and all have their bad parts. I personally go with SoftBank, and I've had great service and really enjoyed my phone with them. So it's really up to you. Find what suits you best after you get your gaijin card, and you're pretty much going to have easy sailing from then on out with getting a cell phone. Hey guys, that's it for episode 7 of Japan Frequently Asked Questions. Once again, thank you so much for all your questions, comments, and views. Please keep sending the questions my way, and I will answer them as quick as possible.